Run. Okay, let's go.
Welcome back to my channel. So jumping right in, this is part 2 of how to apply full cover nail tips. Again, my hand movements isn't really going to be matching what I'm saying because my audio and my video wasn't that great, so now I have to do a voiceover. But jumping right in, all I'm saying is we are going to be applying our full cover nail tips with the Born Pretty tip gel. So I was just making sure I sized my nail correctly. And for a smoother and more seamless application, I definitely recommend filing the top of your nail tip so it's as thin as possible. And I'm using the Sabiland nail tips from Amazon, and they're plastic, so they're already pretty thin, but just for some more help and better transition between your natural nail and the nail tip, I definitely recommend filing it down and then applying it to your nails. So once you've done all that, you are going to either have the option, if you want to go this method, of filing the inside of your nail tip. That's what I'm explaining here, and that just helps for better adhesion on your natural nails, especially if you have a base coat underneath. Even if you have a peel off base coat underneath, you definitely want to file the inside of your nails. I decided not to do that for this application because I knew I wasn't going to be wearing these nails for that long. So onto the actual application of the nails. So as you can see, I'm squeezing out the Born Pretty gel, and it's very thick, so it does take some time to come out. And I squeezed a little bit in the center of the nail, and then I'm going to go in on both sides of the nail tip and add just a little bit more with this gel. Because it is so thick, you do not need a lot, because if you put too much, it will spill out on the sides and even overflow on your natural nail, and we definitely don't want that. So I'm just demonstrating here how I really think this is a great gel for beginners, because when you flip it upside down, it's not running anywhere, it's not dripping. You have a lot of time to work with it, which is really important. When you're just starting out, you want to use products that are beginner friendly and can help you kind of navigate this process. So what you're going to do is you're not going to come straight down on your nail. You're going to go in on a 45-degree angle and place your nail. That's what I'm explaining here. You don't want to squish it down just like that straight on. Go in at an angle and then press it down onto your nail. Make sure it's aligned and it's not crooked. And I think in this clip I did put it on crooked, and I explained that with this gel it gives you a lot of time to work with. So even if you do make a mistake, you can move it around, kind of check the position and make sure that it's on correctly, which I'm doing here. And you can have your nail lamp ready. I just use this one from Sabiland. I know a lot of people have the overhead ones. That's definitely really helpful for as a beginner if you want to buy that lamp. But again, I'm just making sure that it is on correctly and there's no air bubbles. You know, you don't want to have any air bubbles, so just take your time, position it in the right way, and make sure that is adhered to your nail. And once you think you've got it into a great position, stick your hand under your nail lamp, and I even kind of squish the sides together while they're under the nail lamp to eliminate any air bubbles and make sure that everything is set correctly.
Cool things down. Telling all your friends things that I never said, they're pushing you to get away. Maybe it's your therapist telling you that everything is gonna be okay. Fighting with your head, I can hear it in bed. You're trying to keep me awake. Can I be honest? Just let me be.
Alright, so once you have your nail tips on, you can either go in with an e-file or a regular hand file. But when you do apply full cover nail tips, sometimes you can apply it straight up to your cuticle, or you can leave a little space between your cuticle and the nail tip. And that's what I'm explaining here, that there's a little gap between my full cover nail tip and my cuticle line. So I'm going in with my e-file just to smooth out the full cover nail tip. As you see on your screen, I'm going very gently. I'm just using a sanding band. I go back and forth and I take my time and I just make sure that I'm smoothing out that full cover nail tip as best as possible. I'm not going to show me doing this on all my nails because that's just redundant, but that's all you're basically going to do on each one of your nails. Go in with either your e-file or a hand file. I definitely recommend, if you're going in with a hand file, to try to use a new one, because then you have the freshest grit from that file to be able to really get around your cuticle line and really smooth out that full cover nail tip. So once you have gone over your cuticle line with your either e-file or hand file and you've really smoothed it out, I just go in and define my shape. So this is a really important part here. I always go in with a coffin shape. That's like my go-to style. So I'm just going in with my hand file and I'm making sure I'm getting nice sharp corners, kind of filing the side walls to make sure those are nice and tapered in, and just doing it to my liking. Yeah, so this part's really the easiest part, filing, making sure the shape is to your liking. So I go in with my file, and then you'll see later on in the clip that I go in with my 80 grit buffer on the surface to make sure that's nice and smooth. And I definitely recommend a file that's kind of rounded on the sides so you can get really close to your cuticle line and also smooth that out as well.
Maybe it's your therapist telling you that everything's gonna be okay. Fighting with your head, I can hear it in bed. You're trying to keep me awake. Can I be honest? Just let me be honest, yeah. Can we get up for it? Or should we just keep this up? Can we get up for it? 'Cause haven't we had enough? Can we get up for it? Or are we too deep in love? Can we get up for it? No. Can we get up for it? No. Wishing we could have some fun, but you won't tell me what you want. Should I just turn this car around? Baby, we're holding on to what we used to feel, wondering if it was even real. Can we ever work this out? Telling all your friends things that I never said.
So moving along in this video, now that your nails are all buffed and ready to go, how are we going to disguise that gap between our cuticles and the full cover nail tip? Well, we're gonna go in with builder gel. So I'm just showing you how thick it is and that it's not really running off of my brush. I'm going in with the Enail brand from Amazon. I think this brand is affordable and I really do like their builder gel. So as you can see on your screen, I'm just using like a pea-sized amount of builder gel, and I put it as close as I can to my cuticle without it actually touching my skin. And I kind of do this like wiggling motion, and I push the product in a downwards motion in the shape of my cuticle. So what I mean by that is, as you can see on your screen, I'm really just taking my time in making sure that that builder gel is aligned with my cuticle, but it's not touching my skin. I really just, take the time to make sure that it is not flooding my cuticle, but the gap between my cuticle and my full cover nail tip is all sealed up. And any leftover product, I just bring it all the way to the top of the nail. I just kind of spread out any leftover product because you don't want too much on your nail. You don't want it to be bulky. You're trying to make it as smooth as possible and really just filling in that gap between your cuticle and your full cover nail tip. This step is a little bit intermediate, but definitely still beginner friendly in being able to fill in that gap. This is definitely for people who want a really smooth transition on their nails, especially if you know you're going to be wearing your nails for a long amount of time. Sometimes when your nails start growing out and you have applied your full cover nail tip directly to your cuticle, it looks a little weird. So I definitely recommend trying out this method of applying some builder gel to your cuticle line and just making sure that it isn't touching your skin, but it still fills in that gap. I kept this clip all in real time, trying my best to show you and like highlight how I filled in that gap. But definitely try it out. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. But I think this method is really great just to have a really nice smooth transition for your nails.
Should we just keep this up? Can we get over it? 'Cause haven't we had enough? Can we get over it? Or are we too deep in love? Can we get over it? No. Can we get over it? No. Wishing we could have some fun, but you won't tell me what you want. Should I just turn this car around? Baby, we're holding on to what we used to feel, wondering if it was even real. Can we ever work this out? Telling all your friends things that I never said, they're pushing you to get away.
And last but not least, as you saw in the previous clip, my nails were all filled in, and now I'm just going in with some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe to take off that sticky layer. So once you've completed all these steps, your nails are ready for nail art, you know, any regular gel polish color you want to put on top. I just went in and did some final filing, just make sure my nail shape was to my liking. But this kind of concludes the end of this tutorial. I hope this little mini series was really helpful to anyone out there who wants to try doing their nails themselves and may not be able to afford to go to a salon. I think the nail market right now is very accessible for beginners, so I just wanted to create this tutorial and share the tips that I've learned along the way of doing my nails. So thank you all so much for watching. Definitely subscribe, comment, leave a like, and let me know any nail designs you're interested in seeing me do. And again, thank you so much for watching.
Trying to keep me awake. Just let me be honest. Just let me be honest, baby, baby, baby. Can we get over it? Should we just keep it?